about that series after the dust settled a little bit or anything like that, or just
We didn't talk about it much.
did you just go about your business?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out of the way. Zion, Herb, BI, were any of them able to practice today?
Zion and Herb they went through a portion of practice, so they'll be questionable. Brandon didn't, and he won't be on the trip with us. So it'll be some, he'll at least miss these 3 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said he won't be making the trip?
He won't be making the trip. He'll at least miss these 3 games.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where is he at in his concussion protocol so far?
I mean, he's just at the beginning phases of it and trying to work through it, but not well enough to come in practice and things like that at the moment. But, he's still getting better, just not well enough to practice and travel.
Coach, could you mention that one more time? I couldn't hear you about Zion.
So Zion and Herb went through a portion of practice. They'll be questionable for Friday's game.
And just bouncing off, obviously, like a huge win at home, going on the road. Your team, your lineup is capable of mixing and matching even with those guys out. Can you just talk about like what you can even improve on from the Mavs win with the deep lineup?
Yeah, that's the plan is to use our depth, and we were able to see it against Dallas. Now, we had to play a pretty solid all-around game, which we did. We executed on both ends of the floor, but, fortunately for us, we have a team that we can throw different lineups out there in different groups, and guys have been playing well together. A lot of our young guys played last season. They have a ton of experience, so they can get on the floor, and the level of play doesn't go down too much. So it's a luxury to have.
Trey was asked if when his last time he didn't miss a shot was. He referenced Sacramento last year when he went 4 for 4, but I think his dad told him that doesn't count. Can you just talk about his ability to shoot and even with a hand in his face?
Yeah, he's definitely a knockdown shooter, and what we love about him is that he's confident and he's not afraid of the moment. Make or miss, we want him shooting those shots. And when he's not open, just make the next best play, which he's getting better and better at this season.
4 games in, how would you assess where the defense is right now?
Not where we want it to be, but we're content. Not complacent, but we're content where we are. We want to keep building. It's early in the season. Things will happen, and we got to continue to adjust, but we like where we are.
After the Dallas game, Trey and CJ both talked a little bit about how much of a pain it is to practice against Jose. What is the level of intensity that he's bringing on a day-in and day-out basis here?
The way he plays is the way he practices. Each and every day that he comes in this building, he steps on the floor, Jose gives it his all. And he talks a little bit of mess at the same time, so he kind of turns practice up. It's always fun being in the gym with him. But at the same time, he's serious about what he does, and the guys recognize that.
How does it help your team when you have just like cycles about competing?
When
you just have like guys who are, I guess, like really intense about competing, even in like practice?
It helps our team level up a bit. You have some dog days during the season where, you don't really want to practice. It's a tough stretch, but Jose, Naji, Trey, Willy, those guys, they turn up in practice and it gets everybody going.
CJ mentioned sometimes you got to cut practice a little short. You got to cut scrimmages short because they get a little too intense when Jose's out there?
I do, and I prefer it to be that way. Yeah, sometimes we cut practice short for those reasons, but also the intensity of the scrimmages is extremely high, and we gotta save some in the tank for games.
How does that translate when you have that intense of a scrimmage and you're able to just practice and roll that into a game?
Well, when we do practice or scrimmage, we want our scrimmages and practices to a degree be harder than games or mirror games, so that there's no drop off no matter who we play. We step on the floor with Dallas, we have Phoenix. We're accustomed to that level of physicality and the intensity of those games because we do it in practice.
And after the Dallas game, you talked about CJ showing he could be more of a facilitator. What's really stood out to you about the work he's done to show that different part of his game?
He's doing a lot of work. Work on the court with his game individually, grabbing some of his teammates and going through sets, watching a ton of film. So he's putting in a lot of work to become better. at all aspects of the game, not just facilitating, but defense. But we were able to see, not having a great shooting night against Dallas, but he continued to make the right play over and over again, and I think that's huge for him.
And I know it's just a regular season game, but is there a little extra since it's Phoenix, based on last year and how it ended? Are y'all putting a little extra?
We're definitely focused on the fact that we played them in the playoffs. In the Western Conference, that's one of the teams that you have to go through. So that'll be on our minds.
Thank you, Coach.